Alright, welcome to Falcon Blues TV, and we have literally just this second, Everton have finally announced at 10 to 7 at night that Sean Dyche is the new manager of Everton Football Club. They also announced like about 5 minutes before that Anthony Gordon has left for an undisclosed fee of 40 million plus 5 million in add-ons. Okay, some other news: the Titanic sunk. We just found out from Everton the Titanic sunk. Man landed on the moon. That's a big one, that actually. And Prince Andrew, well, the less said, the better. But firstly, Sean Dyche, welcome to Everton. It's going to be a bumpy ride, we all know. I was listening to his interviews earlier on. I say earlier on, it's just happened. I apologise. And you know, it was one with Jake Humphries, and it's all about saying, like, you know, putting in the graft, putting in the effort. You know how when you get like you're bringing in a load of new players, that you've got a bit of disharmony, and you've got to try and build on that. And that's how Everton's looked for quite some time. You know, we brought in new players and they haven't really settled, or it's taken them a while for them to gel with this Everton side. Some have got new ideas, some have got the original ideas still in their head, and obviously there's heads batting. You know, they're banging together, and there's problems, and that's probably been Everton for forever, really. But Sean Dyche is probably this and Anthony Gordon. The Anthony Gordon sale has probably been the best bit of business and the best bit of decision making by the club in God knows how many years. We know the Benitez signing was wrong in the end. Ultimately, Frank Lampard didn't work as a manager, so that's failed us. So to bring in someone of Dyche, who he knows the Premier League, he knows how to get a draw, he knows how to get a win, he knows how to, he knows how to battle and instill just a bit of a graft into this side. I mean, you've seen the pictures today where the lads are ready to just spew all over the pitch, and it's great to see, because you've seen the other pictures and you've seen all the other videos of them where they're laughing and joking. I think that the laughing and joking stops now, and it's time for serious business with Sean Dyche's team. So I'm looking forward to Saturday. I hope everyone's behind the team as we always are. Protest wise, I hope that continues either before or after. During those 90 minutes, it doesn't go. It doesn't even get raised as an issue. Bring out the banners, do whatever you need to. That's fine, but let's just keep it as following the team the way we always have. Let's not give them any kind of ammunition to start saying, oh, well, the fans are a bag of crap again, and they've been honourable and they've been toxic and stuff like that. Let's get away from that. Arsenal is not going to be an easy game on Saturday. It's an early kickoff, which makes it even worse because we all like the early kickoffs. So we just got to get on with it. So with Dyche, I think that Marcelo Bielsa was the wrong choice anyway at this time. I'd have liked to have seen it, but I can't see it happening until at least the summer. If we were going to do something like that, it should have been done when Lampard, lost the games in against Bournemouth before the World Cup, and we were given the Australian tour and given the opportunity to actually build and have a little bit of a midsummer, if you like, in the during the World Cup. So I think Lampard apart and Dyche in is the obvious choice. You can see what kind of decisions Frank Lampard was trying to make, or rather not trying to make, and you can almost see that Dyche won't make that kind of error. I've watched teams make 4 or 5 subs there when we've only made 2. Dyche won't stand for that. I think if he sees something that's not working, he'll do his darndest to try and change it and make it work for him. I don't think he's one of those stubborn managers who will try and be arrogant about it. If it's not working, he'll go and fix it, and that's what I like to see. And hopefully come Saturday, that's what we'll see. We'll see a bit more graft, we'll see a bit more hard work and determination, a bit more thought going into how Everton play, which is what I'd like to see. And hopefully, come Saturday, we get the result, or we get a result that keeps us off the bottom, gets us moving up the Premier League exactly where we need to be. On soft lad Gordon, my 2 cents is thanks for the 40 million plus for what is essentially being a substitute for Everton. His head's been turned since the summer. He's not been right for it. He's not really been interested. Even before the close of the last transfer window, where he scored 2 or 3 goals. He scored that one versus Leeds, and after that, once the window shut and he was nowhere for him to go, that was it. It just seemed to dry up with him. he seems to have thought he was the made article, which wasn't the case. It still isn't the case. Probably the last few weeks haven't been great, but they haven't been great for the entire team. But I think Gordon getting what happened with the fans and stuff, it's a Nottingham thing. I'm not saying that should have happened. But it's a non-entity with about 10 or 15 kids who chase him down the street, and that's what's happened. It's just been something and nothing really, and it's been blown out of proportion by the media, who tried to make the fans seem as toxic as they are, which we're not. We're just frustrated with what's going on at Everton. So, for him to just suddenly... So, we've been really, really clever, and we've asked for the transfer. He's asked for the transfer request, so there's no fee. We've been able to, demand a bit more out of it. I think at one point we were 5 million apart, so probably that's where this 5 million's come from. So 40 million and 5 of add-ons, which is sound. With 40 million up front, it gives us a chance to now get something in this transfer window. Fingers crossed we can before tomorrow night. I'll probably just come back on Thursday with a transfer update, because that's about the time Everton will start announcing that they've signed anyone. But yeah, I think it's been a bit of a hard slog this month, with results wise, with manager changes, with the way the fans have been, trying to proactively get rid of the board, with the stuff that's going on with the board, the things that have been coming out. The lack of communication with the club has just been absolutely non-existent. Again, 2:00 this afternoon, when we all knew last Wednesday that Dyche was installed as manager. Yesterday, 2:00, 4 o'clock it was, I think, when Gordon was announced as a player for Newcastle. When we all knew this happened like Thursday. It's just ridiculous. It's got to be better. We are clamouring for news and we're clamouring for updates, but that's because we only want what's good for the club. And I think we just need to... The club needs to understand this, and how dangerous that can actually be. By you say no news is good news, but silence is deadly. Do you know what I mean? Not coming out with nothing is harming. It's doing more harm than good. We brought in a press officer with Dave Prentice, who's been non-existent since about October. They got him locked in a basement. I don't know, Dave, if you're alive, blink 3 times, whatever, mate. But yeah, there's got to be more to it. There's got to be more, and I think it starts on Saturday now. The restart is here. Let's go for it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you like and subscribing to the channel. Click that little button. It's one side or another. You know which one it is. You know what to do. And thank you to everyone who is subscribing so far as well. It's always appreciated. And like I said, we'll be back in a couple of days after the transfer window. I might try and do something tomorrow night if we're lucky and we've signed anyone. You've heard all the rumours and everything. Who do you want to see? Who do you think we can get in before 11 o'clock tomorrow? It's going to be a bit of a tough one, but until then, up the toffees, Colin Chong. See you in a bit.